Hey there, Pro Organizers. It's Melissa Merrill from Pro Organizer Bootcamp. I'm popping on here today to chat with you a little bit about networking as a professional organizer, building your referral network, building your local community connections so that you can become a better organizer. Okay, so diving right in, again, it's Melissa Merrill from Pro Organizer Bootcamp. If you've seen a few of my other videos, I appreciate you watching, liking, and subscribing to this channel. I would love to be able to serve you better, so feel free to leave comments below with feedback or questions that you might have for me, and you can also contact me at Pro Organizer Bootcamp on Instagram. Diving right in, why your network is your net worth as a professional home organizer. So building an organic referral network has been a huge game changer for me in my own organizing business, Let's Get You Organized, which I've had for over 10 years. That being said, you are not meant to be a Jane of all trades. You're not meant to be able to do every single thing. You're not meant to be a carpenter and a heavy lifter, a junk remover, a task rabbiter that might be putting together IKEA furniture, things like that, a contractor, a painter, a stager, a realtor, right? You're not meant to wear all of these hats in your business. You're meant to do your one thing, which is in your zone of genius, which if you're watching this, it's probably organizing homes, helping people declutter, helping people live more simply and effectively and efficiently, stopping that shopaholic syndrome, stopping that, hoarding clutter and things like that, right? If that's your gift, then you're in the right place. That being said, again, you're not meant to be a Jane of all trades. This is why I always recommend expanding your referral network within your local communities. So working with people like closet stylists, consignment stores, estate sellers, what else? Contractors, handymen, painters, stagers, realtors, junk removal pros, housekeepers, right? We're not meant to clean houses. We want to organize houses. Hopefully the house is clean. It's not always clean. You can refer back to my dirty side of organizing video up in the cards up above if you want to check out why some jobs are going to be dirtier and messier than others, but that might be a job where you could refer a local housekeeper, or maybe you get clients that are asking you for referrals, right? I used to get that all the time with people saying, oh my gosh, my housekeeper just quit and I'm so sorry, my house is such a mess. Do you know anybody, right? This is when it would really behoove you to have those relationships in place. The other thing is like junk removal pros. So if you are just a one-woman show or even a 2-3 woman show, you probably don't have the manpower to be lifting things like crazy heavy couches or giant bookshelves, or moving things out and starting to declutter things that you simply can't lift or move, right? The last thing you want to do is be at a job when you need to declutter something and not have the help that you need to actually be able to remove those items. So I always used to network with tons of junk removal companies back in San Diego when I was building my organizing business there. The other thing, of course, is painters, contractors, handyman. These are things that might pop up where you need to do some closet installations of shelves or racks. You might need to build an extra area of a pantry out further so that they can actually be able to store all of their baking items or their mixers and their electronics for the kitchen, things like that, right? You never know what's going to come up. And so having those referrals in your back pocket is a game changer for your organizing business, because you come in already equipped with those connections, with those referrals, and it helps build your relationship in the community. So for example, if you're consistently referring a certain housekeeper to all of your clients, or at least the ones that ask, you probably don't want to push that on somebody like, hey, I think you need a housekeeper. But usually it's when, they're asking for that, or when you can say, oh, my friend does this if you want some extra help in between our sessions, things like that. If you're consistently referring somebody like that, chances are they're also going to refer you to their clients. And so that's a win-win situation where, again, your network is your net worth. If you're building that network, your net worth is going to have to go up, right? Because you're putting that good karma, that good connective energy into the community, and hopefully that's going to come back to you. Hopefully that makes sense as far as building your organic referral network. As for how to do that, ask your friends, ask your family, use the people that you've used in your own home. I know in my condo in San Diego, I had a really good plumber, a really good electrician, a really good handyman, a really good I don't know, random people, right? Housekeepers, things like that. And so when I knew their work and I knew who to trust, not just based on Google reviews or not just based on things that I saw online in my local area, I was able to really know, like, and trust them enough to be able to refer them to my clients. So get out there, start talking to your friends and family. Hey, has anybody used a junk removal company in the past? Who'd you use? Were they good? Should I recommend them to my clients? Things like that, where you can really start to gather that intel so that if and when it does come up with your client or in your client project and you know you need a handyman, you're not SOL and like, oh my gosh, now we have to just go to Google and try to find somebody to help us, right? So that's number one. The other thing with that is outsourcing to places like TaskRabbit. So the app called TaskRabbit, where needed, if you're in a town like a busy metro area, typically has a lot of TaskRabbiters that will help you put together furniture, do little tasks here and there that you might not want to take your hourly rate to do. It might take you an hour to put together an IKEA shelf. Does your client really want to, pay you that $100 that it's going to take to put that together? Or could you coordinate with a TaskRabbiter, have them meet you at the client session and be there to kind of work with you hand in hand on those things like furniture assembly and kind of those lower level jobs and tasks. So that's number one there. And then the second thing there is Nextdoor for verified reviews and community recommendations. So again, it's one thing to go look on Google and say, oh, this handyman looks like a good person, or this junk removal pro has some good 5-star reviews. But it's another thing to actually see what's going on in that client specific neighborhood. So with Nextdoor, you can actually search by neighborhood and you can type in things like housekeeper, house cleaner, junk removal company, things like that, where once you're in there, you're going to be able to see the actual real life feedback and recommendations and reviews from people in that neighborhood of your client. So you can search by neighborhood, you can search by, obviously trade, and then you can actually see all of those actual feedback statements. So again, build an organic referral network, get to know these people in the community, use people that you've already used and trust, or use people that your friends and family have used and trust. Otherwise, you can also check out TaskRabbit and Nextdoor. Next thing I want to talk about as far as building your network is joining local networking groups. Duh, right? You've probably heard me talk about this in a few of my other videos. You can look up at the card up above if you want to check out one of the other videos I did on this. But joining Rising Tide Society, which is run by Honeybook. It's called Tuesdays Together. There's a chapter in every major city. Tuesdays Together is awesome. It's usually a collection of typically females, typically women, that are maybe wedding photographers or family photographers or home stagers, painters, photographers, event planners, calligraphers, florists, all kinds of creatives that are usually in these Tuesdays Together groups. And having a home organizer in that group can be a great thing because chances are they have tons of friends and family and clients that they could also refer you to, and vice versa. So again, if you want that two-way street when it comes to networking, you're providing leads to other people and they're providing leads back to you. That's a win-win situation. So joining Tuesdays Together, again, you can check that out. It's through the Rising Tide Society, which is the creator of Honeybook, and you can check out if your city has a local chapter. The other thing is your local chamber of commerce. There's typically a lot of realtors, mortgage folks in there, escrow people, loan officers, insurance pros, dentists, doctors, things like that in your local chamber of commerce. BNI is Business Networking International. There's usually a chapter in every major city, even small cities. So BNI is a great organization as well if you want to get out there and start to build your connections. That is a paid group, so that definitely has more of a high ticket cost to it, just as a side note. Tuesdays Together is free. This next one is free as well. It's called SCORE, and this is powered by the SBA, the Small Business Administration here in the US. Again, these are all US specific. I know that I have global listeners, but if you're a global pro organizer boot camper, you can look in your local area, just type in networking events near me, things like that. But for US specific, SCORE is a great one. Again, it's powered by the US Small Business Administration, and they'll match you up with a mentor if you want. They'll send you events and webinars and workshops and things that are going on in your local town that you can connect with. These are going to be, a great place to meet local accountants, tax experts, attorneys, lawyers, things like that that you might want to have on your side. And then other things like network after work, women's groups, all of these types of events. So you've probably heard me talk about going on Eventbrite or meetup.com if you're here in the US to try to find local networking events, but these are just a few of these larger nationwide organizations that I wanted to mention here. Again, building your network is your net worth, and you don't want to just build your business in a silo. So if you need to do two things. One, better understand a client's project, and you don't want to run around trying to find everybody at the last minute, right? Trying to be SOL and go, oh my gosh, I need a handyman for this, or oh my gosh, we definitely need a junk removal pro for this. You want to make sure that you have better consultations so that you know what you're getting yourself into. So you need to watch the Consultations 101 Masterclass. You can find that at bit.ly/consultations101 masterclass. I'll link it in the show notes below as well. So be sure to check out the description. And that way you can have better consultations that are going to set you up for more success with your clients right from the start. That's the first thing. Second thing, as far as networking with other organizers, is I'd love to invite you into our monthly mastermind membership. It's at proorganizerbootcamp.com/group coaching. And this is our wonderful group of ladies that are across the US. We have 2 Zoom calls per month. We talk about our wins, we talk about our losses, we talk about our highs, our lows. We're vulnerable with each other, able to ask questions, get hot seat coaching, and then we do exclusive webinars in the group as well. So check that out if you're interested. Again, it's proorganizerbootcamp.com/group coaching. Reminder, your network is your net worth. Get out there, make those connections, and watch your business succeed.